let's talk about players that could be on the Bears moving forward, whether at 1 or somewhere else. We will get to that. But just best available on the board right now, how are you stacking up the talent early in this draft, Ryan?
Well, it starts with quarterback there, and Caleb Williams out of USC. There's going to be a lot of talk between now and the draft about him and Drake May and even Jaden Daniels and perhaps even Michael Penix Jr. seeing how Monday night goes in the championship game. But quarterback's where the conversation starts. And to B-Mac's point, it makes you wonder what Justin Fields was thinking there in that final press conference. But you know this, Joe, as a Bears fan. You can keep restarting the organization if you want to, but that means you're back at 0. You've made some progress with Justin Fields. Looks like Coach Matt Eberflus is coming back. And that young man at number 2 there, Marvin Harrison Jr., solves a lot of problems, whether you're a young quarterback or any quarterback for that matter. Then some offensive tackles there. Notice Brock Bowers at 5. Tight ends typically aren't this high, but he is truly special. I think he's better than Kyle Pitts coming out. So there'll be a lot of interesting decisions that have to be made over the next 100 days or so as we get down to the actual draft.
This is not the association. We do not draft best available. Maybe in some cases later rounds you do, but when we're talking about these top 10 picks, Ryan, I want to see where your head's at here right now, because you've been mocking already for months, but now we have a set number of picks, and we know more readily what these teams may do. We were just touching upon it a little bit there. The Bears at number 1, a growing belief definitely in that locker room and maybe in that city for the quarterback, but what do the Bears ultimately do with the top overall pick?
That's the probably $200 million question. I think that you stick with Justin Fields. He's made some progress here. And when you talk about the quarterback that he played today and Jordan Love, what did Jordan Love have? He had time and he had an exceptional play caller. Justin hasn't had a lot of time, and the play calling, you can argue, has been suspect. So if you get that sorted, and then you surround him with players, which you can do as you did last year in trading down in the draft, and you can do this year if you trade out of that first overall pick, and there will be plenty of suitors. This quarterback class is absolutely loaded, and if you only move down a few spots, you can even get another first-round pick next year in addition to some day 2 picks this year. You can get Marvin Harrison Jr., and you can surround Justin Fields with what he needs. And the first order of business, even before you have the Marvin Harrison Jr. conversation, is who is going to call plays and who is going to put Justin Fields in the best position to succeed, because if you don't have the answer to that, nothing else matters. Again, look at Jordan Love. Look at what happened with C.J. Stroud and Bobby Sloak in Houston. The list goes on. And I think that has to be the first order of business for Ryan Poles and presumably Matt Eberflus, the head coach, if he's sticking around.
Yeah, that's the question. We're talking about Justin Fields, but it's about the structure. I say this all the time. When you talk about having young quarterbacks flourish and being able to develop to be the best player, they have to have structure around them. Because if you don't have proper structure, you're going to struggle, and you will always look to find answers at that set position, which is the quarterback position. So me personally, I think Justin Fields could be the player, that guy for Chicago, but I have more concerns with the play calling, the offensive structure. You talked about Luke Getsy. Is he returning? Because if you move on from Justin Fields and say, you know what, we don't think it's going to work out, you're bringing another young quarterback, a rookie quarterback, into an offense that does not seem to be quarterback friendly. And guess what happens then? Well, 3 or 4 years down the line, you're looking for the same thing again. You're trying to answer the same question all over again. You talk about some of the young quarterbacks that are flourishing. They have the benefit of being involved in an offense that puts them in the best situation, not to mention coaching that understands what they need to do for them to be at their best. You put a Justin Fields with a guy like Kyle Shanahan. You put a Justin Fields with a guy like Sean McVay. You put a Justin Fields with a guy like Ben Johnson, and then see exactly what he can do. I think that's a bigger concern for Chicago. The offense, the lack thereof, the structure, then can Justin Fields be a franchise quarterback? Because he's showing flashes here or there, but I think when you talk about how they call plays, that is more confusing about the player in Justin Fields, in my opinion.
I think we're all saying the same thing here. We believe in the skill. Not yet is their belief in the structure.
It's a situation. Got to go into a good situation.
And I have it on good authority that we have an official mock here coming from Ryan Wilson. Your top 10 picks. Ryan, run us through it. We got to see where we're going.
Happy birthday, Joe Musso. I have the Bears trading down from 1 to 2. Washington is desperate. They're going to have a new coach, almost certainly. The new owner probably wants a franchise quarterback, not named Sam Howell or Jacoby Brissett. Caleb Williams is special. You're going to hear a lot of noise between now and the draft about Caleb Williams being a diva and a lot of other things. Just go watch Caleb Williams play, and then let's have a conversation. That allows the Bears to move down 1, and you see there the mock trade details. They get the number 2 pick, the number 41 pick, which is what they gave up for Montez Sweat. They get that back, and they get next year's first first-round pick, and you get Marvin Harrison Jr., there is no excuse if you get the right play caller that you're not winning 10 games in the playoff conversation next year. Then you see the Patriots at 3. They have to take a quarterback. There's no ifs, ands, and buts about it. I don't care if they don't have a coach next year. You have to draft a quarterback. Drake May's the guy. Arizona misses out on Marvin Harrison Jr., but they get a bookend to Paris Johnson Jr., their first-round pick. This year, Olaf Alshanu, the left tackle out of Penn State. Kyler Murray's definitely coming back. And then look there at 6, and then look there at 8. 2 more quarterbacks. Jaden Daniels goes to the Giants. No player has done more for his draft stock over the fall than Jaden Daniels at LSU, the Heisman Trophy winner. And Michael Penix Jr. had his C.J. Stroud moment last week in that semifinal playoff game. And I think, given the way that Des Ridder has struggled, it would be hard-pressed to let Michael Penix Jr. go. Is that a little rich? Maybe right now, but by the time we get to April 25th when the draft takes place, it might be too low, given how well Michael Penix Jr. has done the last 2 years for Washington.
Yeah, I think that is the best case scenario when you talk about the top teams in the draft, 1, 2, and 3 of Chicago, finding a way to trade out of the spot, get an extra first rounder for 2025. Then you still go get one of the best playmakers in the draft in Marvin Harrison to pair with DJ Moore, Cole Kmet, and of course Justin Fields if you trade out of that top spot. I like what Washington would do also in this scenario with Ryan, because they have to go get a quarterback. Their quarterback currently is not on the roster. You know, Sam Howell got an opportunity to be a starting quarterback, didn't do as well, turnover prone. They need to answer that. Also, when you look at the Patriots, yeah, no question, the Patriots, they have to go find a quarterback of the future as well, because I think it's safe to say Mac Jones won't be that guy.
Mac, you were sitting in the room when I said it a year ago when the trade happened with Carolina that the Bears would be on the clock, first overall in 2024. Here we are, so let me try and conjure it again. I'm going to say it one more time. The Bears will be on the clock in 2025. Thank you, Washington.
This will make or break the Bears organization. For them to have the resources they have, if they don't capitalize and hit the right guys, it could put them in a situation currently to what we witnessed with the Raiders when they had all of those first-round draft picks.
But outside, and I know we're up against it here, but I want to ask you a question. Outside of the Chase Claypool deal, which will always be a mar on the record of Ryan Poles, was one of the first moves he made as general manager. Do you trust what he's done since that moment in constructing this roster?
Yeah, but with that being said, everything that he's done in years past, the Chase Claypool, you know, bringing in some of the Montez Sweat deal was marvelous. All of that means nothing. We're worrying about what he's going to do now.
Big problems, but
this
good
could
problems
make
to
or
have.
break Ryan Poles. Now, if he don't get it right, you and a million other Bears fans are going to feel some type of way. But if he gets it right, he will forever be good in Chicago.
Hey,
forever.
It's said properly and it's said eloquently. You only get so many opportunities, and an opportunity like this for a general manager only comes around, well, twice in 2 years if you're the Chicago Bears. We'll see what they do with it. Ryan Wilson, Bryant McFadden, we appreciate you as always, and we will dive even deeper on the names, the picks, and all that's to come. Mock Draft Special with Ryan, Matt Ryan, and Rick Spielman. That's coming your way Tuesday, 8 Eastern, right here on CBS Sports HQ.